Hello and welcome back to White Details. This episode, a Chorus Grey Range Rover Sport. The vehicle is here for a two-stage paint correction detail, by far the most popular service I offer as White Details, with the addition of some extra PPF sections, paint protection film, to go down on the gloss black, the delicate gloss black trim. As well as that, there's going to be an interior detail. There is going to be Modesta coatings for the paint, PPF and wheels and calipers. And the car itself is pretty tidy. It's a great looking truck. It's a very well cared for example. This is the second car my client has bought to me. But first things first, get it all washed off, stripped back, clayed, decontaminated, take the tar deposits off the sides of the vehicle, get on the ramp, and we can think about some PPF and paint correction. Whilst the gloss black sections aren't going to be perfectly polished, as you will see shortly, before the PPF goes down, they do need to be perfectly smooth, perfectly flat, however. So a lot of time was spent with the clay bar, decontaminating, smoothing off as many surfaces as possible, including the glass. And then it's wheels off, blow the vehicle dry, and we can begin to assess the condition. Right, so inside now, successfully washed off. Corris Grey Range Rover Sport. It is a nice example. As I think I may have said already by now, this is the second car this client has bought to me. Their first, a 2014 Range Rover Sport, this being a 2019 model, I believe, the facelift. They've had the car for a little over a year now, and prior to their purchase, I think the previous owner, or if not the dealership who supplied the vehicle, had the car prepped and detailed. As you'll see, there are holograms, rotary buffer trails in places from machine polishing. What else? Paintwork wise, I guess it's not bad, it's not terrible. It's on a 1 to 10 scale, where 1 great, 10 terrible. I would say it's a 5 or a 6. So there's certainly room for improvement. But on the table behind me, here's some we made earlier. PPF sections, they are gloss black pillars. Last week I had a shark blue Cayman, extended PPF package, new car prep. And whilst plotting the Cayman, there was excess areas or wasted space where I was able to nest the pillars for the Range Rover, which is the following week's job. The job spec is a 2-stage paint correction process with Modesta coatings for the paint, PPF wheels and calipers. The interior is also having a once over. Initially we were just going to do the A pillar, B pillars, C pillars and the D pillars at the back end, but actually there's a fair bit more gloss black, the delicate gloss black on the car. So there's the roof rails, there's the leading edge of the roof, there's the rear portion of the roof around the aerial, there's the spoiler, there are the wing mirrors, there are various spats in places, and on the front bumper, rear bumper and the tailgate. So what I've got down here, I will get on the car and then head into next door onto the laptop to plot the remaining sections. Paintwork wise, it really isn't bad. There's random clusters like this in places. They actually look like flattened marks in places. I'm gonna guess that this door, driver's door, has actually been painted. Good old pillars, plenty of marks there, and equally, you've seen this already, the C pillar. But continuing down the offside, yeah, really isn't a great deal there to chase out. Quite a forgiving colour to hide the lighter stuff on camera, but you can see on the lens the rear light clusters, if the damage and the defects are present here. Chances are, unless they just haven't been done from the previous machine polishing session, whoever may have done that. But equally the D pillar at the back is nowhere near as bad as what the B or the C pillar is. That, compared to that, there's a lot more contact here though with people closing the door. The outline of sport lettering, we can hopefully make out SPORT. The vehicle's been debadged. Rotary holograms on this section here. There is a piece of PPF going across there. More abrasions on this side of the tailgate where whatever the badge was here has been removed. And we have some flaking lacquer under there. The wavy lines moving about here, rotary polisher marks, not terrible. There's some deeper stuff down this near side, horizontal scratches that are likely to be hedgerow induced. Something's been caught in the corner there, front bumper. Yeah, not too bad at all actually. Perhaps somebody else has done the hard work. I know my client is up to speed with regards when it comes to the safe wash procedure. So on my part, get the PPF down, do a heavy cut to chase out what marks we can, the hedgerow stuff, the deeper stuff, and sort of finesse the holograms, the buffer trails, that sort of stuff. So I'm cutting the paint, I'm going to refine the paint, I'm then going to use Modesta primer in readiness for Modesta coatings. Well, that took a bit longer than expected, so one massive great big long sheet PPF. D-pillars. These sections are for there. This lot goes over the top. There's this bit and this bit, front to rear. Combination of these pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4, is the wing mirrors. This section with a circle is for around the antenna. That piece goes in the front. That very slim, slender piece, where did that go? I think that's the rear brake light. Third brake light piece goes across there, maybe not. And then this piece goes across there. Sadly, the C-pillars, which can be seen here with the triangular section, C-pillar triangular section, I've redone them again. It's the same version as what I used before, but they didn't fit. The triangle's fine, but this piece, not good. The template needs adjusting. So I'm gonna reach out to Suntech to let them know. The B-pillars, not a problem. We'll get to the D-pillars shortly. But for the rest of the C-pillar section, that will have to be bulked now on the car, which basically means using one big massive rectangle of film and then trimming it on the vehicle, as opposed to using the 3D modeled sections. This piece, by the way, is a spoiler. Oh, and these bits with the little parking sensor cutouts, 2 pieces, 1, 2, and then that piece should be from the end here, and then these horseshoe pieces, 1, 2, 1, 2, and that piece is there. Goodness. I know a lot of you don't like to see the PPF side of things. I've seen the comments, I understand, I appreciate that. I am known for polishing. This is all quite new to the channel. So skip to this time here, which is when the polishing commences. 20 to 9. Honestly, I don't know where today has gone. Progress is not good. There's still a lot of PPF sections here to tackle. A lot of fiddly bits and time consuming. So B pillars, triangle section, not yet bulked there. D pillar, that's it for the back. This little section's down, which is neat. I like that, makes sense. Wind mirrors are done. Hey. And then I've just done the front guard here, up and over. This little sliver that I thought was for the third brake light is actually going to be for there on the grille. So I've done that bit, that bit, that bit, and that bit. So at this rate, I'll be PPFing well into tomorrow, which is slightly concerning because there's an awful lot of bodywork yet to be polished. So it turns out when I'm making the patterns, or not making the patterns, when I'm selecting the patterns on the software, I need to be more careful and spend a little more time. The big spoiler that was back here, spoiler alert, wasn't the correct fitment for this model. I believe this is a Range Rover Sport HSE, but the spoiler I've actually had to use was from the SVR template. Don't know why that's all muddled up. And also you've seen that successfully I found the rear C-pillars rather than having to do a bulk installation on them. Again, on the SVR platform, the C-pillars, obviously the bumpers aren't going to share across the board from this model to an SVR. The front wings will be different, the bonnet will be different, the rear bumper will be different, but structural sort of trim pieces like A-pillars and C-pillars are the same, so that was a success. I've wasted a good amount of material on the spoiler. The good news is, I found the proper one. Something to be mindful of. Spoiler, 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 spoiler. Spare pillars, just in case. Roof rails. I've just done the leading edge, so roof rails to go. And the spoiler. laughing to a podcast. That is the paint correction process complete. Well, technically it's not. That is the first part of the paint correction process complete. The cutting phase. Those that know may know that sometimes JLR products, Jaguar Land Rovers, sometimes Porsche, can suffer from sticky paint. It's a surface, it's a lacquer, a clear coat. It just doesn't like the heat, it doesn't like the abrasive mechanical action of being polished. Now, it's a bit of a mixed bag of paintwork. So some panels have responded rather well. Other panels, the bonnet, not so much. It's not terrible. It's just something to be mindful of now going forward into the refining stage. So refining on all of the Corus Grey bodywork, which there's a lot of. Cutting has taken some time. Side skirt's done today. The whole of the offside done today. Gloss black is looking good. These areas with the badges, they were all tidied up quite nicely. Light clusters have been cut. All this to be refined. Bonnet has been refined. And then we go for primer before a Modesta coating. That is the refining complete, and the vehicle has had a neat isopropanol alcohol wipe to strip and eliminate residues, and then it's had Modesta's primer over the top. So before we go on to coatings, which I will now save for tomorrow because it's midday, it's lunchtime Thursday. If I do the coatings now for the bodywork, the surface after Modesta primer needs to settle for 3 hours before coatings go down on top. We're going to be mid-afternoon, and then the actual process of the curing, infrared curing, once the coating is down, is going to take me well into this evening. So coatings will be saved for first thing tomorrow, as well as the wheels. But for now, I do have the windscreen to strip as well. This is going to receive a polish. There's an old coating on there which is causing the wipers to judder. But for now, interior, first impressions, it really isn't bad. However, my client had the previous generation, the 2014 Sport, done on the inside and feels this could be better, and it very much can be. It's been prepped with an awful sticky, tacky, cheap dressing, which is patchy and blotchy. It's probably, well, it's quite easy to see actually. It's nasty. It just needs a damn good degrease, I suppose is the word. Shiny steering wheel. Yeah, come on. Who's done this? Look at that. It looks wet. Do not blame them for wanting the interior added to the list. Very much room for improvement here. Nice and simple, pretty much straightforward. Yeah. What are we listening to? Motown classics. Get in. Bit of UB40. Sorry, that's rude. Shouldn't be doing that. Ain't no mountain high, ain't no valley low. First things first, take out all the mats. Get the airline into the nooks, the crannies, the crevices, the leather down the sides, the seat bolsters, the seat rails, under the seats, in the door pockets, in the glove box, in the armrest. The airline blows all the hard to reach, inaccessible lint and dust and dirt out. Vac it all up and then start on the surfaces. I think I'll do the surfaces first. Leathers last, carpets, mats. And then all that said and done, LPS 1 and LPS 2 Modesta leather protection.
nearly finished. Got the grill, the door shut. Got to finish the glass. Infrared curing for the coatings. The final wipe down of M1 shot. The shiny sections on the interior. And the calipers.
Oh, stinks. Nearly there. Door shuts, glass, M1 shot, interior shiny sections. It's all very grey in here today. Saturday, collection day 4 of the Range Rover, and we have a very nice Kia EV6 GT turned up for next week's PPF installation. It was only going to be a front end package with coatings, but actually they've now opted for full car coverage. So the space that I've got within the diary is now compressed somewhat, because all of a sudden I've got a lot more work to crack on with, but we can look at that a bit more in detail later. 2 of my spotlights have failed randomly, both at the same time, which is most peculiar. So I'm left with the one down there. Normally I'd have 2 on the floor level as well. 12 o'clock, 1 hour from now, the owner is due. If the sun still shines outside, it'd be nice to get the car outside. A perfect example of the relationship between PPF protection and detailing treatments. So all of the paintwork detailed, 2-stage paint correction with Modesta BCX ceramic protection, and then the delicate gloss black sections all wrapped up with PPF. And just as a bit of a reminder, which is quite amazing to think, but when we go over the after footage, just remember that none of the gloss black was polished. Not even a smidgen was polished. An interesting job on the Kia, because obviously it's a matte paintwork, so yes, there's a matte film available, but I'm gonna have to do a run of gloss, because there's the lights, the gloss black, D-pillars, side skirts, B-pillars, mirrors. I need to do all that on a second separate roll, and then the matte film will go down on the paint. Somewhat looking forward to that, bit of a different challenge. That's it for this episode then, all wrapped up now. If you've made it through this far, as always, thank you for your time. If you're new to the channel, if you've just discovered this episode and you're still here, thank you. Leave a comment, let me know down below how you found the channel, and any thoughts or critique or comments. Be sure to find WhiteDetails over on Instagram for daily behind the scenes and updates. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And until next time, take care, and see you soon. That's alright. First time.